In the absence of information, people make stuff up. And the crazy part of that is that our brain doesn't care whether it's true or not. It just wants a story that closes the gap so it can move on with the next order of business. So that means not only are we making stuff up, but it's not generally in other people's favor. That has to do with the negativity bias, and that we're just more prone to notice the negative and to the threats in the environment. And so that just becomes instantly part of the fabric. I also think it can be the habit of our storytelling to make ourselves the central character and oftentimes the victim. To counteract that, you can use Brené Brown's practice of generous assumption. And this is simply the self-awareness to check yourself and in the middle of a story, or don't even notice that you have a story, or more likely you're noticing that you have some negative emotion associated with somebody, and then to ask yourself, what's the most generous assumption I can make about that person in this situation? Now, be prepared. The first thing your brain is going to send up is, I'm not in a space to make generous assumptions. There isn't a generous assumption. I don't want to make a generous assumption. But that's a luxury and an indulgence, so you can say, okay, thank you, brain, dismissed, and move on to the next most generous assumption you can make and see what changes.